Hi you guys, so welcome back to my channel. It's Jizzy aka Jay Super Cool. You know I'm always blessed and I'm never stressed. How you guys doing today? So as you can see by the title of this video, this is a cook with me. Today for Sunday's menu, I have pot roast with potatoes and gravy and rice on the menu today. Let me just tell y'all, I didn't grow up liking to cook. Like, I help prep and stuff, but I wasn't a big cooker. But now, in the recent years, I would say the last 5 to 6 years, I've been cooking. Like, I've really been doing my thing in the kitchen. So I'm gonna just bring you guys along today as I cook my pot roast in a crock pot. See you in the next clip. Alright, so I already have a couple of things. So I have my crock pot already now. I have it on high. I already rinsed it out, washed it out. And I put a little water in there, and I put like a little butter in there too. And I know it's pretty much hot to my liking when my butter is melted. Right now on the stove, I got my little skillet with a little grease in it. As you guys can see, it is popping right now because what I'm going to do is sear my roast on both sides. And I have my roast. And it's already thawed out. We thawed it out last night. Right now what I'm about to do is just rinse it off, put it on this plate, pat it to dry, and season it real good. Alright, so I'm gonna show you guys that. I'm just gonna rinse it off real quick. You know, anything that's on the roast, just rinse it off, get all that excess blood off it and things like that. Make sure it's nice and clean to my liking. I don't do too much rinsing, but just enough. Like, you always want to wash off your meat regardless, you know, of how clean it looks to you. You always want to give it a good rinse. So gave that a good rinse. I'm gonna cut that off and throw that packaging away in a second. And I'm just gonna take my paper towel right now and I'm just gonna pat it dry at the moment. Just pat it as dry as I can. Ain't gonna be able to get it totally dry, but definitely gotta dump all that excess water out of the plate. Turn it over and do the same thing. Pat it as dry as I can. Alright, so that's done. I'm gonna just kind of put that with that. And right now, so the seasoning I'm gonna use today, I got a little bit of olive oil. I'm gonna put it on my hands. Even though I'm gonna put it in olive oil, I'm just gonna put a little olive oil on my hands, and I'm kind of just gonna put that on my steak I'm gonna put that on my roast on both sides, just to have, like, you know, just so my seasoning kind of stick on there, just a little bit, stay on there just a little bit. First, I'm gonna go in with my Tony's. Gotta have a little bit of the Tony's on there. I got some Tony's. Then I'm gonna go with my Old Bay seasoning. Gotta have the Old Bay seasoning. Just a little bit, you know, not too much, because this is salty, so I don't want to put too much of that. I have salt-free Mrs. Dash table blend. It's like a blend of a lot of seasonings. I use this on everything I cook with now. You know, it don't really have like a taste to it, but you get a blend of different seasonings that's salt-free, which I like, and it gives, like, whatever you cooking a really good color, a really pretty color as a base for seasoning. So I really like that. Go in a little black pepper, just a little bit. Onion powder, of course. And then some garlic powder. And that's like mainly what I use to cook my foods with. You know, I don't hardly use salt. I use salt when it calls for salt, like in grits. I put salt in my grits and stuff like that, but and I'm alright, y'all, this is what my roast is looking like, all seasoned up to perfection. Check out the size of that thing. Looking really good. I'm about to get ready to drop it in my oil real quick. This is my oil. That's what it's looking like. It's nice and hot. And then one thing about a crock pot, when you're using a crock pot, this is my little butter spoon. Put that on the side right here. But one thing about a crock pot, it could be really hot on like the outside, the exterior of it, but in the inside, like I just felt in the inside of it, like my butter, I moved my butter, but it's not melted at all. Like, and honestly, it's warm, but it's not hot to my liking. So it's gonna take about another, I'm gonna say another 10 minutes for my crock pot to get hot to my liking. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut this fire down to 2.5 on the stove, and I'm about to place my roast in a hot grease. All right, y'all. So got my roast. Right. Put this in the sink real quick. All right, ready? Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna turn it this way. Got a baby in the house, so you know, I don't want no accident. Even though he's not even tall enough to reach the stove at all. Like he digging in the cabinet, so I definitely just want to make sure no incidents happen. So I'm gonna let it cook on each side. I'm gonna say about 5 minutes each on each side, just to give it that real nice color that I like on each side. And then hopefully by then my crock pot will be almost as hot as I need it to be. You know, it's gonna take a while for your crock pot to really cook to that level that you want it to cook to. And a roast, it takes a very long time. So we're gonna wait it out. And I'm gonna show y'all what it's looking like, you know, once I'm all finished with how I want my roast to look. Alright, y'all, it's been about 2 to 3 minutes. And look at that color. I just flipped it over. Look at that color. Look at that base I got on my roast. And I don't know if y'all can see, but my butter is finally melting. So that's a sign that the inside is starting to get hot to where it's actually melting the butter. Y'all know how easily butter melts. So that's why I just put that in there. That's just my little hack I use. You know, just a little tip. So I'm going to let it cook on the other side for maybe another 2 to 3 minutes. I'm gonna flip this back over, cook it for another 2 to 3 minutes. Then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, and then it should be ready to go in the crock pot. And honestly, you do this, you will want to do this. You know, you can just season it and throw it in the crock pot. But the reason why I like to sear it on each side and cook it for about 5 to 10 minutes is because honestly your roast cooks faster, because it's gonna take about an hour for you just to get this base on your roast in a crock pot. It's a slow cooker, you know, but granted, it's still gonna come out, even though it is looking crispy right now, it's still gonna come out nice and soft and juicy, and you know, and it's locking in those flavors from the grease, from the seasoning and everything. So that's why I love to do my roast like this. All right, y'all, so my roast is up to my liking. Got about, I'm gonna say, another minute on the other side. This is already the second go around, so this is what it's looking like. My butter is 100% melted, so that means the roast is ready to go. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my roast in here, and then I'm gonna save this oil or grease, whatever you want to call it. Make some flour real quick, and make a little gravy with flour. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put this roast in this crock pot. Ooh, and I'm gonna put it in on this side. The side that just finished cooking, have that side up. Ooh, baby. Now, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be real good. All right, y'all, so honestly the roast is gonna take about 4 to 6 hours to cook, nice and tender to my liking. So I have my rice here. I'm gonna just cook the rest of this rice. And yes, I do not use a rice maker. I cook my rice on the stove. Right now I have my cold water brewing, and I'm about to get ready to just clean my rice real quick. Alright y'all, so all I do is basically pour my rice in here, right? Pour my rice, pour my rice, pour my rice. Make sure I get all I can get up out of there.
And now it feels like I'm really for completely apart.
Okay. And it's always good to clean your rice, always good to rinse it. So I got some cold water, not hot water, cold water. Make sure your water is nice and cold. That's why I let my water run, so it can be nice and cold. Basically, when you run your water on there, it creates a little knot, so you kind of just want to run your hands through your rice. And all I do is, I don't know if you guys can see, but see all that? That's dirty. You want to rinse that off your rice. You don't want to cook that with your rice. So drain, and then you're gonna do this. Honestly, it's repetitive, but you're gonna do this, I'll say about 15 or 20 times. Alright y'all, rice on the stove. And rice on the stove, so I'm gonna take a little oil, put in my rice just so it won't stick. I was always taught to do that. But y'all see I clean my water is. Alright, and let that cook. Now I don't know how long it takes to cook rice. I just know I like my rice like a certain consistency. So let that cook and that's gonna be done. Alright y'all, this one my roast looking like. Y'all see all that juice my roast created. I'm gonna flip it over. Oh, see? It's already tender. It's breaking apart. That's what you want. That's what you want. Ooh, that's so good. It's not done yet though. Just because it broke apart don't mean it's done. It's still got about another hour to cook. But I'm about to show y'all the hack. So this juice in here, I'm about to drain into this bowl. And I'm gonna make my gravy out of that from scratch. Alright, try to do this, making the least amount of mess. Let's see how much juice I could get. It is very hot. So, okay. I don't want it to be completely dry in there. Alright. Got my juice. Now, what I'm about to do is add my potatoes to it. And I'm going to season my potatoes. I'm going to put a little salt and a little pepper on them real quick. And a little parsley. Oh, that's a new one. I always gotta have 2 of each. Put a little parsley on there. And a little black pepper. Blacky pepper. And some salt. Alright. Kind of stir it a little bit. And distribute. Alright. Alright. I'll top it on that. That's the juice I pulled from the roast that it created. Put that to the side. Ooh, hot. Hot, hot, hot. Alright. Now, remember that oil that we used to sear our roast on each side. I'm going to go ahead and cut that on 3. We'll get my flour. With that sugar. Oh, actually, 1 second. Y'all probably didn't think, oh my god, you need no seasoning. So I use frozen season blend. I'm gonna chunk that up. I'm gonna let it get a little you know, a little hot first, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add my seasoning to it. And then while I'm waiting on my grease to get a little hot, I'm gonna go ahead and get my flour. Well, actually, Peter, can you come pull down the flour for me? I can't even reach the flour. Thank you. Who scored? New Orleans?
Yeah.
Who made the touchdown?
New Orleans.
No, who did the touchdown?
Running back number 25.
Oh, okay. Alright. So, my oil got a little heat to it. I'm going to go ahead and add my seasoning blend. Add a decent amount. Alright, so y'all see my seasoning is seasoning right now. I'm going to give it about 1 more minute, and then I'm going to go ahead and pour it into my, not pour it, but just take my seasoning and put it on my roast and my potatoes. Because I don't want my seasoning cooked all the way down, because I want it to definitely cook with the roast. But I had to saute it a little bit, and y'all see all that oil that I'm about to have left over. Ooh, baby. It's going to be some good gravy. Alright, so my seasoning is definitely up to my liking. So what I'm going to do is kind of pour over that, my roast and my potatoes. Some heat. Ooh, yum, 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 yum. I didn't get all of it out. I was trying to, but I didn't. But let's see if I can do 1 more scoop. Alright, this should be good. A little bit left over, which is fine. Alright. I just put it on top because eventually when I turn my roast over, the seasoning gonna be at the bottom anyways. But it's good to just let it sit and just marinate on the roast. Alright, so now I'm gonna take the flour. With your whatever you have left over. I cut my fire down a little bit. I'm gonna take some flour, kind of definitely want to just have a consistency of, you know, your whisk when you do it too. And I'm not gonna put too much flour, but just enough, you know, because I don't have that much oil. Ooh, yeah, pretty brown color. And really, this is for thickness. Starting a little roux. Okay. Alright. I kind of waste some flour. You don't waste flour when you're cooking. This is what it's looking like so far. You guys can see. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is pour a little bit of this in there. Just a little bit at a time, you know. Yum, 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 yum. Yeah, I'm going to continue to kind of just pour it in now as I go along. Alright. Alright. So now that's all in. And what I'm going to do is continue to whisk it. Ooh, baby. I'm going to cut my fire down some more. Cut it down to 2. Let me show y'all what it's looking like real quick. So this is what it's looking like. Y'all see that? I'm going to continue to whisk it. Alright y'all, so what I did was I added a little bit more water to it. So right now, this is what I got so far. as far as the gravy, how it's looking. It gotta cook some more, so don't judge it just yet. And I'm gonna add a little seasoning to this real quick. Alright y'all, this is what my gravy is looking like right now. It's getting nice and thick. I'm gonna add some more water to it because it's already pretty much thick, and I don't want it to be too thick before I put it with my roast. So I'm gonna add some more water to it, kind of spread it up here, and then I'm gonna pour it on my roast. Alright y'all, so my gravy is nice and done. It's to the consistency that I like. I added a bunch of water, not a bunch, but enough of water to it. I added a little seasoning to my gravy. The only thing I really added was like some Italian seasoning, garlic powder, and a table blend, and a little Tony's too. I added that too. But it's to the consistency I like. It's nice and warm and hot, and it's about to go over the roast. I just went on ahead and flipped over my roast. So it's flipped over, the potatoes are cooking now, the seasoning is going to be seasoning it now, and officially did my taste test, and I tell you, it's so yummy. Now that's some good gravy. That is some delicious gravy. Alright y'all, update, this is what my potatoes and roast is looking like right now. I'm about to get ready to pour the gravy on top of it. And give it about another hour. It's gonna be nice and cooked. This roast, when I tell y'all, it's so tender already. Anytime you could just do that to your roast. Now this part is still a little hard, but I still am able to put my spoon or fork through it. So that's why I say I gotta cook about another hour. But once I put that gravy, ooh, my Jesus, it's just gonna melt like butter. And I will say that roast fat is definitely necessary. Like, you got to keep your roast fat on your roast. Like, to me, honestly, sometimes that'd be the best part of the roast. Alright, let's go ahead and put the gravy on top of it now. Alright y'all, let's see, make sure I'm nice and right in the middle. Oh, yum yum yum, yum 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 yum. Alright y'all, my gravy is in my roast and the potatoes. Now, it's going to take about another hour and a half. I'm going to say an hour to hour and a half for everything really to be done 100% like I like it. But I do want to say, now that it's down to the nitty gritty, I'm going to check on my roast and my potatoes every 20 to 30 minutes. They did have a little leftover juice that was at the bottom of the roast, so the roast is not 100% dry, but by the gravy being in it now, it's just gonna be so tender and juicy. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that cook. Baby, I cannot wait to eat. And I just want to show y'all the rice real quick too, because I didn't show y'all the rice, but this is when my rice came out, how my rice came out. And y'all see that, because y'all see that on my rice. That's how I like my rice, not gummy, just nice. And this is rice I cook on the stove. I perfected my rice on the stove. Honestly, this is how I was taught to cook rice, on the stove. I was never taught to use it in a rice maker. I was taught to use how to cook rice on the stove, and I also know how to cook rice in the microwave too. So put that on now, and yeah, I'll see you guys in another 30 minutes. Alright y'all, my roast is done. Oh baby, honestly it was done about 30 minutes ago, but I was watching the game. Y'all see the potatoes nice and soft, and the roast nice and creamy. Ooh, about to get it ready to plate it with the rice and serve it up. Alright y'all, this is the final product. Ooh, this is Pete plate. This is my bowl. Well, people, my bowl. And basically y'all can see I have like some fat on my roast. He don't like fat at all, so I made sure to get him the roast with no fat. But baby, when I tell you, about to tear it up. Alright y'all, so I have my bowl right here. I added a little hot sauce to it. I need a little spice in my life. Potatoes. Huh? Good. And the roast, of course. So good. But thank you guys so much for tuning into my channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's Jizzy, aka JB's Super Cool. You know I'm always blessing and never stressed. And I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.